You've probably heard everyone has a purpose to fulfill, right? Like I've always heard that my whole life. Like everyone has a purpose to go out and fulfill. And my problem with that in my old philosophy was if everyone has a purpose to fulfill, that's like kind of a God thing, right? Like God has a plan for you type ideology. And I was very anti-God. So my mind was like, okay, what about like the 4-year-old girl that just died because she got attacked by a dog? Like, what was her purpose? Or the guy that just had a horrible childhood and ended up a heroin addict and then he overdosed at 21. Or like, what is their purpose? Like, if God is experiencing the world through them, why would he do that to like that 4-year-old girl himself, right? Like, why would he put that version of himself through that? She didn't get to fulfill her purpose, right? So like, what's going on there? And that didn't make sense to me for a long time. And I didn't really do a lot of thinking about it because when you're not, when you think you know everything, you tend to seek things that prove your current worldview because you think that you've got it figured out. So let me just look out the things that continue to confirm that because I like feeling right. I came around to the idea of God. Still, the thought of purpose eluded me for a while. I thought, like, purpose, like, I feel like the purpose is just within you, maybe, like your own growth. I still kind of believe that to myself a bit as well. But the point of this video is I heard something today in like a motivational speech that really clicked to me about purpose. It was something along the lines of like, your purpose is either to be an example or a warning. Like, if you think about that, like that seems very surface level, right? Like, okay, obviously, like, do the right thing and you're an example, or do the wrong thing and you're a warning for other people to not fall in the same pitfalls as you. But it's deeper than that. It's like back to the analogy of the 4-year-old, right? Like, we don't like thinking about this, but like that happens all the time, right? Little girls, little boys are just dying in third world countries, in first world countries, for various reasons, just dying, right? It's horrible to think about, but that's happening. And you're like, okay, so what is going on there? What is their purpose? Are they a warning? Did they mess up? No, obviously not. Like, and this is horrible to think about if you're a very secular thinking person. Like, I remember how I thought about this as an atheist when people would say, well, God is that, like, that child was put on earth to die, right? For the result of that, of the people around them that love them so much. It's gonna chain reaction a bunch of things, and it's gonna be overall a benefit to people and the people around her. And when you hear that, you're like, okay, well, that's fucked up. That is so cruel of God to do that to that little girl. Like, okay, so like those people are worth more than her, right? Like, why does she have to die for those people to have a better life? And that's how I thought about it. But let me, like, if you think about that and you're in agreement with that, let me just address that. The way that mind frame is set in is that God cares about the individual on the planet, right? The individual ego is really what you're thinking about. Like the person that thinks of themselves as this person in this body, right? Um, my theory is that God really doesn't give a shit about your ego. He doesn't care about what you think that you are, right? Because what you really are is a piece of him, and he knows that. So it's like he's not sacrificing a little girl, right? To enrich these people. He's not even sacrificing a piece of himself. He's just putting a piece of himself through something and allowing other pieces of himself to experience that and get enriched by it, or like have change, right? Growth. This is obviously just my interpretation and my perspective of shit. This is not like a doctrine or anything. This is just how I've come to understand this myself with my philosophy on God. And so in that way, it's not a big deal. Like, he just, little pieces of him are coming and going like 1,000 times a second, right? On Earth alone. Who knows about alien planets or whatever, but like 1,000 times a second or whatever. I don't know the actual number, but like way more than that if you count all the animals and insects and all that shit. So God doesn't care about deaths like on a grand scale. Like it's thinking too small to care about the ego of the little girl that passed, right? Like, it's hard to think that way at first, but like you can come to that conclusion that like, yes, that's sad that that girl didn't get to experience life, but if you believe in God and you believe in at least this philosophy that I'm talking about, then I can frame it in a way that it's not a terrible thing. Like, of course, it's not ideal, But it's overall, in the grand scheme of things, that's still like a good thing, right? It can be a good thing, which is fucked up to say. It's hard to say, but like you can view it that way. And I'm not saying like go and actually look at an individual case of someone's like child dying and then go tell them that that's a good thing. Like, don't do that. Obviously, that's a horrible thing to do. But I'm saying on a philosophical like viewpoint, like you can I don't know, it just helps me in the battle of suffering, right? That like, okay, no matter what happens, right? Like, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be what I think that I need to be. I'm gonna be what I need to be. I need to just face life with strength and resilience and just fucking attack it. And that is me fulfilling my purpose as far as I know it. You know, I can't do anything beyond what I know. So I'm just going to try my best at what I can to fulfill me in the best way I can. And I feel like that's the best you can do. And in that way, you're the example, right? Going back to that, like getting to be the example is a privilege. It's fucking cool, dude. Like people come to you and ask you for advice. And then you're like, in answering that advice, you find something about yourself as well. And you're like, getting more insight about yourself. It's just like this compounding thing.